Hello, everybody. It's early Sunday morning. If you can't tell, the first light is coming in. So that's why I don't have a light on. But welcome to another recap, and going to talk a little bit about the Revs and Jack Harrison here. Now, for the Revs, they played Atlanta. Nothing impressive about what they did against Atlanta. Sorry to burst your bubble. But the reason why I'm doing this, I wasn't going to do a reaction, but I'm seeing people on social media overhype this game. I'm seeing people saying that it was a great attendance when they announced Jack Harrison 8 minutes before kickoff and they showed the video. There was probably 5,000 to 6,000 people there, so you never got to 30,000 as you claimed. You might have handed out the free tickets. They didn't show up, so I don't want to hear anything from people talking about how, they had a great crowd. Because people tried to send me a photo of what it looked like during the game, and they said, see, it filled out. Still doesn't look like 30K to me. That looks to me like 18, maybe 20. That's not 30. But the point is, you had that, and then you had people telling me that was a great game. Look at what the Revs can do. You beat up on Atlanta. Atlanta's the worst team possibly in the league. And you want to tell me that was a turning point for the Revs? You couldn't do this against Toronto on Wednesday. And we all said that was a pathetic performance. Now all of a sudden, because they beat up on Atlanta, a crappy Atlanta team, they're going to win MLS Cup. This is the problem with some Revs fans. You call it out correctly, and then as soon as something up, it's all fine. What are we doing? So, the goals themselves. Carlos Gil, doing what he's done his whole career. Not sure where that defender went on the goal. He was there 1 minute, gone the next. He got banished to the USL Championship. That's basically what happened. And Carlos Gil shoots with his left foot and it goes in. To me, it felt to me like that keeper could have saved it. I didn't think this keeper for Atlanta was that good. Credit to Carlos Gil for the goal, but that looks like a savable shot in my opinion. The second goal that was scored, I was more impressed with, because it was a short corner. This has been with the Revs this year. A lot of their goals have been scored in set pieces. This was another one of them. And it was some great ball possession, great passing, and Yusuf gets on the end of one, he starts the goal off. And you know what? Credit to Dor Turgeman. He finally gets the giant gorilla off his back. That was the thing I took most out of this game, was him getting that off his back, because he had been struggling. I had been saying going into the World Cup, or even before it, he needs to rest. For those you don't know, that I'm a big Crystal Palace fan. And what I was seeing going on with Dor was similar to what we were seeing with Crystal Palace and JP Mateta, John Philippe Mateta, because he was being run into the ground and his performances were going down. That's what I thought was going on with Dor. And they didn't rest him, going through the World Cup break, and then he comes out against Toronto, he only has 15 touches and he doesn't look good. I'm talking about, when I'm saying good, I'm talking about he's here to score goals. And he wasn't doing that. They finally gets the goal on the score sheet with Atlanta, but it's fucking Atlanta. Stop it. The third goal, great goal by Miller. If he's going to play as a winger, these are the type of goals he needs to score. Good transition, good goal, 3-0. And then Reigns gets his first professional goal. Congratulations. But I think it's also kind of a lucky goal because he makes a run through the box. somehow loses it, and the ball bounces back to him, and he finds it to get back in. But again, I'm going to say the same thing that I think some Atlanta fans were even saying. If Atlanta had an actual defensive midfielder, I don't think any of those four. I'm not going to say like they thought. Like if. Okay, so some Atlanta fans are saying like if they had an actual defensive midfielder, they would have kept a clean sheet against the Revs. No, that wouldn't have been the case because Atlanta sucks ass. But I don't think the Revs would have scored 4 goals. I think they would have scored 1. And that would have been that second goal by Dor. That's personally how I feel on that. They did concede 1 later on, which ruined the shutout. There was some boos because of that. But then we saw instances of the turf monster. And all those people who kept yelling at us, people who wanted them to keep the grass, and said, no, turf is fine. Yeah, Yusuf hurt himself because of the turf monster. Sands hurt himself because of the turf monster. People are worried, is Yusuf hurt? If that was grass, that never happens. Never happens. But because it's fucking turf, that's the case for this. So like I said, they win, they move up to 3rd place in the conference. Oh, look at, I thought you said the Revs were going to go down. They have easy for the first 3. Then afterwards, if you look at their schedule, it's a meat grinder. Toronto, they didn't beat. They just beat the crap out of Atlanta. Congratulations. Now they got to go to Montreal. That's 3 winnable games. But the other reason why I did this was because of the Jack Harrison news. Because he got signed. I think the Revs missed a huge opportunity when they leaked the video before the game showing him walking in with a Minutemen kit on. I think they missed a huge opportunity here for him to walk in dressed as a Minuteman. I think that would have been real cool. But they missed that opportunity. But people are thinking that the Jack Harrison trade is, because it technically is a trade, it's a transfer. They think this is going to be that big piece. When Leeds fans and even Revs fans, as soon as you posted he's officially a Rev, are blasting you and laughing at you in the comments, that's not a good sign. Leeds was almost begging the Revs to take him off the books. Please take him off the books. He's not worth it. He was a complete donut for them with Leeds this year. That's why fans were saying, get rid of him. And they finally did. And the Revs bid on it. He's a DP now till 2030. He's not worth a DP. For him to be worth a DP, and he's not going to be available till I think August 3rd is what they were saying, because apparently he needs to get in fit shape. This is why I keep saying the Revs weren't trying with this. They weren't. But for him to be worth the contract, he needs to score at a clip of basically a goal a game, which isn't going to happen. Because he's not going to tear up MLS. He couldn't do anything in the Premier League the last couple of years. He got loaned to Fiorentina, did nothing there, and now you think the Revs think they got their guy. To give him that contract and to say he's a DP now through 2030 is a huge mistake. The contract is not going to be worth it. It's going to be a very smelly and bad one. Like when Toronto brought the Italian players in that bad. It is. Because you put all your eggs in one basket. You said, here's the guy. Jack Harrison I would take if it was a TAM level deal. He's not worth a DP because guess what? DPs produce. I don't think he's going to produce for the Revs on that level. I think Varone was a better DP than him. That's what I'm saying right now. But when I look at the player, obviously he'll be better, an upgrade over Yao. A trash can is an upgrade over Yao right now. So you could have found someone a lot cheaper to replace Yao with. But yeah, you look at this Revs team. They're in third place. You beat up on Atlanta. You were crap against Toronto. Beat a real team and then talk to me before you start, which you're saying, get on the bandwagon. This team's going to do something. I think a lot of people are saying the same thing. If this Revs team makes the playoffs, they're going to lose. Because they're not as good as it looks. Really isn't. I'm just glad they're beating up on the bad teams, but it's not indicative of them going to be doing anything. If they beat a team that was in the playoffs, like, I don't know, Charlotte? How about Cincy? I don't think Cincy's in the playoffs. I think they're in the wild card. But, like one of those teams, then I would say, okay, there's an impressive win. It's friggin' Atlanta. So stop it. Charlie Davies then also said something during the Revs radio. And by the way, I was listening to the radio the entire friggin' game, and I can tell you they are getting triggered by some of the things we're saying. Because Brad Freeman had to literally keep saying, look, the turf looks great. The turf looks great. They're defending the turf. Nobody wanted the turf. Stop defending it. And then Charlie Davies, and by the way, Brad Freeman said this at the beginning of the game. There's been a lot of people that have been critical of Matt Polster, but he was good on Wednesday. Don't you agree, Charlie Davies? And you could hear the silence, and Brad Freeman even goes, "You don't agree with me?" And Charlie goes, "No, I don't." They are trying to defend these moves they're making. And then at the end of the game, Charlie Davies was like, hey, those people who kept saying Matt Polster can't play right back, slow your roll. It was freaking Atlanta. Give me a break. Yes, he had an assist. Oh, because he passed the ball to Carlos Heel. Wow. Woo. I could have made that pass to Carlos Heel. Matt Polster's not a right back. You keep putting Matt Polster at right back. When the Revs play an actual team that has offense, he's going to get pantsed because he doesn't have the speed. He's not a defender. He's a midfielder. So stop this BS with him. He's a good right back replacement. No, he's not. You bought Baker. Seriously. Yes, he's on loan, but you basically bought him. If he meets the contract, if he meets the expectations of the loan, you don't give up a first round pick in the super draft. But for some reason, no, we got Baker, we don't want to use him. He's an actual right back. Play him over Polster. Polster ain't it. Oh, Baker's not ready. If you put Baker against Atlanta, he would have done the same thing Polster did. And people would have said, we would have people, Baker looks like a great signing. You would have had that. Because it's friggin' Atlanta. But yeah, they win this game 4-1. Congratulations. We expected nothing less because it's Atlanta. So, take care, everybody. I will see you next time. Enjoy your Sunday.